What does leadership need to do? Retain, retain, retain. I'm sure the mayor's administration is on top of that. But we can't let them plan in a silo. We need to interface with them with the highest customer service level. We need to explain to them the plans for the lakefront development. Work with them on their planning process to see whether or not they can be synergistic and catalytic with their own plans for their own campus. Alone, cost could drive them to Franklin. We need to create an environment with all options on the table, including financial options. If they expand tax base, expand jobs, if they create a plan, as I said, that's catalytic or synergistic with the downtown lakefront plan. We need to formulate this in the context of everything that is happening at the lakefront. We have to identify the stakeholders, which we already have. We have to create a possible capital stack for the entire lakefront redevelopment. Northwestern Mutual is part of the lakefront. It also has to include the potential expansion of other companies that are contemplating expansion, like Johnson Controls in the downtown area. We have to create that capital stack by taking a look at private investment, city investment, county land, and state and federal incentives. I look outside my window every night. The lights of Milwaukee from University Club Tower are absolutely magnificent. I would certainly like to see more lights at Northwestern Mutual, as well as more lights to the south on the lakefront development.
Well, I think a general principle is we need to make the case, the city of Milwaukee needs to make the case for the urban location of corporate headquarters. And I think that over time, that case is being made more and more. The fact that it's a wonderful place to live, there are amenities, the catalytic effects of doing that rather than being in a suburban campus location. So clearly that is a larger context in which a lot of these issues are going to have to be analyzed and marketed.
The trend has changed. Back in the 60s and 70s, with all the freeways that were built, companies escaped the urban center and went suburban and even out further. That tide has changed now. You can read about it in the Times, read about it in the Wall Street Journal. Downtown is where it's at. Companies are going to realize that in the talent search, they've got to be where the talent lives. Young people like to walk to work, they like to bike to work, they want to be where the action is. In Milwaukee, you can provide a style of live and play and work that's not comparable when you go to the suburbs. Who can walk to work in the suburbs? Who can get to the suburbs via public transportation with the status of our public transportation in this community? Companies are going to learn that where you should be is in the urban center. Also, though, the city and the public officials have to realize it costs more to build in the urban center, and I think they do that. They're very helpful, and they stopped when we were able to bring manpower downtown. This is a little bit different because you have a downtown company that's going to be faced with an alternative in the suburb with much cheaper parking and also much cheaper construction. They'd have to build probably vertical downtown. In the suburbs, I think if I remember, they're building 3 stories, which is a heck of a lot cheaper to do. So somehow there's got to be some public effort to solve a little bit of that discrepancy that occurs in construction costs also. But the key is companies have to realize that they should be located where the talent is, and the talent's in the urban center.